Good morning. It's Father's Day. I'm gonna make some homemade pizza. What I have in here is 1.5 cups of warm water, 1 package of yeast, and half a teaspoon of brown sugar. To that I'm gonna add, I let it, sit for about 10 minutes. See, it's all bubbly. I don't know if you can see. See, it's all bubbly and active, and just let it sit until it's happy, talking, bubbling. You can barely see the bubbles. Sometimes it just doesn't. But anyway, to that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of olive oil, a little salt, and 3.5 cups of flour it's calling for. Of course, it goes by your weather, so when it's not sticky. So anyway, we're going to mix it with the paddle first, and then I'm going to use my dough hook. If you don't have this, you'd have to do it by hand, which just knead until it's not sticky. And then I'm going to let it sit for about an hour, and just turn on my oven for a second, let it sit in there until it's warm. And I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to bake it in my big cast iron pan, my big fryer. I'm going to make like a pan pizza with pepperoni. Okie dokie. Okay, some olive oil. That's 2 teaspoons, whatever. And some olive oil. I don't like putting the salt in because salt and yeast doesn't. So I'm going to put some flour in first. Calls for 3.5 cups, so I'm going to put 2 in for now. Turn it on. Get my salt. So about 1 teaspoon of salt. Salt will kill the yeast, so make sure you don't put it in until you got some flour in there. Still a little damp day here. So cup number 3. Now you could add garlic powder, seasoning, whatever you like on this. I don't really prefer it in my dough. I'm going to put my seasonings on top of my dough with a little olive oil. And then I'm going to, of course, pre-bake it before I put my toppings on. It's going to be thick. But it's still very wet. Let's do another cup, but we'll see. That's a half. That's 4 cups. But like I said, it's rainy today. See that? Still very sticky. Obviously it's going to need more. But I'm going to stop it, switch to the dough hook, but it's still very, very sticky. See? That's going to need more flour. Probably about another cup, I would say. Oof, I don't know. But when you're making dough, you have to adjust to the weather, conditions of the flour, actually. Everything affects it. Alright. Switch to my dough hook. Lose my camera. Set going again. I should have some whole wheat flour, huh? Yeah. That was about another half cup, but that until it comes off the bowl. Obviously I'm going to have to use my spatula to move it around in there. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, I actually had to add more flour, but you see how it's pulling to the one side? It's starting to pull off, so that's what you look for. It's still going to be sticky, but you don't want you don't want your dough to be hard. Okay, so that's good. Just look for that. It starts pulling away. It's still sticky, see? But it's not terribly sticky. Do you see that? Okay, it's not staying all the way. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in a grease bowl. I'm probably just going to leave it in here. Put it in a grease bowl, cover it, let it sit in a warm place for an hour until it's risen, okay? Okay, it rolls a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but anyhow, after your dough rises, punch it down. It's been almost an hour, not quite, but whatever. Punch it down, work it. I added more flour again. It was really sticky. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get my pan. I'm going to put some olive oil. I'm going to rub the sides. And hopefully it'll rise better this time. Well, we'll see. So, in the pan it's going. Ugh, it's a big pan. Okay, when you punch down your dough, roll it in a tight ball and let it rest, okay? I'm just gonna... I should let it rest for 10 minutes, okay? Before you work it, like I'm doing right now. But mine didn't exactly rise all the way, so I'm gonna put it in here and hopefully let it rise a little more. Could always double the recipe too if you want. Sometimes I'll put it in a sheet pan and I'll make a huge pizza. Okay, I'm just gonna do that and let it rise again. Usually, if you're gonna use a pizza stone, just put it right in and you'll be fine. If you're gonna use a pan, let it rise again. About 15 minutes. And then preheat your oven 350, 400, whatever. And just bake her away. Okay, let the dough rise again. In a pan, a little fluffy. I'm going to preheat my oven now. I'm going to put mine to 400. I've got this big cast iron. I'm going to put it on the lower half of the oven and let that pre-bake probably about 15 minutes. I wish this was a little higher, but oh well. So maybe by the time that preheats, this will lift up a little bit more. Anyway, I mixed up, I only had fire roasted tomatoes, but I did that with some garlic and onion powder, and I got some grated cheese that I'm going to pour on that. Chopped up my mozzarella, and I'm going to put pepperoni on it, and that's it. And then let that bake probably about another 20-25 minutes. And there she is, all finished. Falling away. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, bye.